night, YouTube. Um, Today I want to talk about complainers and complaining and what to do in situations when somebody's complaining. Basically, recently I had a situation in my house here where I noticed over some days a certain family member of mine was complaining about something that was going on in the house. So I was like, okay, all right, I heard her complain and complain. So 2 nights ago, when she was complaining, I said, well, I gave a solution. You understand? I gave her like a solution. And I was shocked as the conversation we were having slowly devolved into a argument to a point where it was a full blown argument. It got to a point where she was saying, I never asked you for any help. I never asked nobody for their opinion. I'm good doing it. And while she was complaining that she had to do it, she ended up saying, I love doing it, making me confused because my whole mindset was like, well, if you're complaining about something, maybe you want a solution how you could stop it. Well, I learned my lesson, and this is something I want to just share here. Not everybody who's complaining necessarily wants a solution, and not everybody who's asking for help really wants to better themselves. uh what I mean by this is sometimes I think people, they just like to air out. They like to complain. It's like a thing. Some people, they just like to complain. Some people just like to dump on other people. But they're not that doesn't necessarily mean they want you to start talking to them. I mean, have you all ever experienced a time where somebody came to you for issue? You gave them a sincere solution, and somehow they ended up hating you for giving them a solution, even though they were the one to really complain about the situation. you know People can be very interesting in that regard. I realize, like, they could complain but not necessarily want to be better. They could be crying but still desire a certain situation in their life. And I learned from that situation, and I'll take this with me, and hopefully it could help somebody. Like, when somebody's complaining, just don't always assume they want your opinion, because at the end of the day, people going to listen to who they want to listen to, and what they want to listen to. If you can, another thing, like in the demographic of my house, I'm the youngest. So a lot of times older folk have a problem listening to a younger person. It's just like they just don't want to hear it from you. You could have told them something that is true and right, and they will reject it from you and hear it from another source, and they'll take it from them. That's just life. So one of the things I would solutions for this, like, and one of the things I'll try to look for is when somebody's complaining, see if they're doing something about it themselves. And that is something about this situation I realized I did not do. When the person would be complaining, really and truly, they did nothing to they did nothing to stop the problem. They didn't say anything to anybody else. They were just complaining. So when you see somebody just complaining, that's probably a sign that they don't really want to get better. If they have that, this could be even for somebody who's in a toxic relationship. They're complaining how toxic this person is, like, oh my gosh, this person is terrible, they cheat on me all the time, this blah blah blah. But they never take steps to leave. They never really take steps to get better themselves. All they do is complain. Sometimes that's all they want to do, and that's a lesson I learned. And so try to always keep a lookout if somebody has been making steps towards their own improvement before you start giving your advice. That way, you could better gauge to see if they're ready to actually receive advice. Because if somebody's not receptive for advice, there's nothing you can do. You could, I'm telling you, you could drop gems on people, and they will still find a way to make you out to be a villain. They'll still find a way to reject it. They'll still find a way to think that you're trying to teach them something, or try to student them or something. So the one way I've learned to figure out if somebody generally wants my advice is if they're doing something for themselves. Like, if somebody comes to me for mental problem they're having, at one question I ask before I start, if I even if I know about what they're going through, one question I ask, like, oh, so have you been to therapy? So what are they doing? Like, have you been there? If I hear that they're not doing none of that, I keep my mouth shut. I'm like, oh, then I just be, because sometimes that's what people need. This is not even a really a bad thing. Sometimes people just need us listening here, man. Like, really, actually, even myself, and that's what I'm saying. Like, even myself, I don't always want somebody to tell me a whole lecture. It's not all the time I want to lecture. Sometimes I'm just going for something and I just want to talk about it. And sometimes that's what people want to. Some people, they just want to listen in ear. And you have to make a choice whether you want to be a listening ear, and you have to try to decipher if that's all you want to be. If you notice the person is not doing nothing to improve their situation, just be a listening ear. Just tell them to get it out, because that's probably what they want to do. So, this video helped anybody, just let me know in the comments, and remember to like, share, and subscribe.